Welcome to Roundhouse Roulette, a Walker, Texas Ranger podcast.
Hey guys, Adam here. Normally we'd be recapping and reviewing an amazing episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, but this week we're going to dig into our archive here of previous discussions we've had that we just couldn't fit into other episodes that are still vital Chuck Norris discussions that, need to be put out there into the Walker universe. And if I'm going to be honest, this is our table scraps from previous episodes. So, but sometimes table scraps are good. And I'm not going to judge them. We're going to let you judge them. And we're going to dig into some serious Chuck Norris news, social media mayhem. And please hang out with us. All right, I'm going to hit play on the tape. Let's jump on in. We got some feedback from our Lone Wolf McQuaid, Chuck Norris's birthday episode that we did for him when he just turned 81 a few weeks ago. Armando from the Talented Slackers hit us up on Twitter. And Evan, on that podcast, you had kind of questioned, what was the saying that the Dakota character said to Lone Wolf McQuaid?
He's like, how'd you like to bite that in the butt, develop lockjaw, and be drawn to your death or something like that?
Yeah, he and Chuck Norris's character were oogling this
Bond girl.
Yeah, we kind of were like, well, that was kind of strange, but maybe that's just kind of some Texas slang, And Armando kind of weighed in there.
Yeah, he said the lockjaw comment from Dakota is old man Texas talk. Yes, I've heard a few things like that growing up, and believe it or not, what Dakota said was tamer. Lol. There you have it. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Still not sure what it means.
When we get older, are we going to start saying stuff like that?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We were also kind of going back and forth. I think that CD is really kind of a watered down Dakota because CD says this stuff, but it's less offensive.
Dadgummit.
Sure.
On the Walker Texas Ranger Facebook page, one of the members posted up this awesome interview with Chuck Norris, which came out right around when Lone Wolf McQuaid came out. It's on YouTube. I added it to our Lone Wolf McQuaid episode page, so you can find it there too now. He gets into detail about fighting David Carradine, and he's saying David Carradine, when he did Kung Fu, he never had to take a hit. And as he never had to take a hit, he would just literally actually kick the people that he was fighting. And he apparently injured two of Chuck Norris's stunt guys while rehearsing.
He's reckless.
Yeah, it sounded like it was pretty brutal, but it was pretty interesting to hear him talk about it. And he also gets into detail about how he petitioned the movie industry to change the rating of his movies in detail, which I thought was pretty interesting too. So we'll share that up online, but I just wanted to make mention of that while we were talking about that Lone Wolf McQuaid episode, which we did for his birthday. And on that note, Chuck Norris, as we've mentioned before on this podcast, is,
he's never one to miss an opportunity to promote something.
Yeah.
He might be living in retirement on his ranch in Texas, but his team is constantly in overdrive, whether it's bottling water from the aquifer underneath his land or, peddling his ways of protecting your money and financial investments.
Yeah, Bob, do you want to take this Twitter post he had?
Yeah.
This is on the official Chuck Norris Twitter account.
Note, it doesn't have a blue check mark. Doesn't that mean you're
Ooh.
official?
Well, you have to jump through some hoops to get that check mark, I think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, he's probably busy petitioning the movie industry to re-rate his films, so he can't do everything.
He's busy kicking those hoops down instead of jumping through them.
Yeah.
Respect.
He says, hi, friends. I'm so excited to celebrate my birthday with you today. In honor of my special day, I have teamed up with Goldco PM. I don't know what that is.
Googling it now.
Yeah. To offer you my free special report and newsletter that explains one of the best ways I protect my money.
Nice.
Yeah, I already clicked on that. Goldco.
Oh, there's a picture of him holding American retirement.
Oh, and scowling. Oh man, we got to get a copy. We got to get a copy of that. Look at that, American Retirement Wealth and Freedom in Your Golden Years. We were just talking about golden years.
Oh, wow.
I told you that's his demographic.
And if you fill out this, you fill out this little thing, they're going to email you this report. 100% free. $0 shipping and handling.
All right,
which is funny because they don't ask for a physical address because of they're emailing you. Obviously,
Adam Dalton, roundhouseroulette@gmail.com, happening right now.
Give them a fake phone number though.
Basically, this company is taking people who are nervous about the stock market and their money and making them reinvest in gold and silver.
The pamphlet he's holding, the second page says, "Why I trust in God, guns, and gold."
I mean, those are...
I understand gold for retirement. I don't really get the God and guns part of it. I don't see how that's going to help you with retirement, but maybe once you get this, let us know.
Yeah, I actually put my real phone number in there too, but we'll see what happens.
It's probably a mistake. But.
I hit it. I submitted, so we'll see.
No.
I mean, that's 3 G's. I mean, that's gangster, Chuck.
Did you read that privacy policy before you submitted that?
No, man. Do you read the iTunes policy every time you agree? No.
No one does.
I trust Chuck. If he's going to put that up there for his birthday message, if he's going to stand behind that, I'll give him my phone number.
Sure.
I'm in.
Yeah, they've got like a scrolling list of all the things like Better Business Bureau and these different business alliance and Google reviews and all these things. I'm just waiting for like NRA to pop up in this list.
Yeah. I mean, from what I understand, Chuck essentially had to retire from acting to take care of his wife who was ill. And if he has to do these kind of things to pay his mortgage, all the power to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a sweepstakes, and one of their grand prizes is an AK-47 made out of 14 karat gold with the Lord's Prayer engraved on the handle.
Is this real?
No.
Okay.
You're excited about that though.
Yeah. If I
you're like, oh, what?
When I moved to Tennessee, I was shocked when the place I used to work at, they'd always have a Christmas party, and it was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The national office drove out there, and they had a Christmas raffle. You know what I mean? It was, gift cards, a few tablets. There was a TV, and then my boss came out and said, "All right, now we're going to raffle out this shotgun." And I'm like, I mean, as someone who's, I don't know very much about guns at all. That's cool if that's your thing. I just never really got into it. But I was like, I could be walking away with a gun today from work. This would never happen in Massachusetts, right?
No, I should think not.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but you can always hope.
Unfortunately, I didn't win that. But that was the year I won a $10 gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse.
Get yourself a bloomin' onion, huh?
Barely.
No, not with a tip, man. Hey, get yourselves one of them Foster's beers. They're in one of them big cans.
And when I showed up, right, to use the card,
It expired.
it was only valid for 3-month period.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck. So I don't even remember if I was able to use it, but I was like, what? This is... Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. This company he's endorsing seems like they're trying to swindle people out of their retirement accounts and into investing in silver. They describe silver as shiny, strong, and suitable for use in various industries. It's a lucrative choice for retirement investing.
Well, yeah, usually when you go to the grocery store, you can't pay in silver. I haven't been able to do that yet.
Depends on what grocery store, though. Yeah.
It's also pretty hard to sort of cash in your silver to get money to pay for groceries.
But you can't argue that it's a solid investment.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. It's pretty on brand for him to be pushing people towards gold and silver.
Yeah.
For retirement.
You can't argue with that.
We've talked about the character Walker, Texas Ranger, and whether he has a lot of money. And we kind of settled on the fact that he's like Ron Swanson. He just buries gold out back. Mm-hmm. So
this is kind of along the same lines, right?
Yeah. This is the mainstream version of that.
No doubt. But that wasn't the only birthday post I saw up there this week. His Kickstart Kids karate organization it's helping kids in need through karate, which is awesome. But I saw this post this week that was birthday related.
Yeah, it's a photo collage branded with Chuck Norris's face, and it says "Celebrate the Legend." And you could win a chance to get a private virtual chat with Chuck and Gina Norris. And it says Chuck Norris has the power to turn back time. Join him on April 24th to celebrate his belated milestone birthday. Register at kickstartkids.org/CN80. It's a virtual birthday celebration.
Well, he's shilling for his birthday, getting people to invest in gold, but at least he's also shilling for Kickstart Kids, which, yeah, this could change some kids' lives, getting into karate and teaching them discipline. And I never took karate, so I don't have that discipline, but I'm glad that he's doing that as well. It looks like the individual sponsor level is $25. So, Evan, you're going to have to do that and report back to us about this event on Saturday. So.
Ooh, it's April 20. I got something. I'm not sure what, but
you do. Okay. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I actually do have something like that. Maybe.
I typically...
It sounds like there's an opening there, Bob.
I typically don't plan this far in advance, but in this case, I have something.
All right.
Yes. Yep.
Here's the crazy thing, though. So that's the individual sponsor level. The next step up from $25 is $5,000. That's the Lone Wolf McQuaid sponsor. Up from that is $10,000, and that's the Walker Texas Ranger sponsor.
All right.
Okay. Up from that, Black Belt sponsor at $15,000. Up from that is Grand Master sponsor, $25,000. And up from that is Chuck Norris 80th birthday sponsor, $80,000. Yeah.
$80,000.
So hopefully they raise some money for the organization.
Honestly, I took all of my savings and invested it in silver, and it hasn't made me any money.
Yes. And it's tied up, so you can't donate $80,000.
That's the problem because, actually, the Kickstart Kids organization doesn't take silver. So,
I would donate, sure? but it usually takes me several months to contact the local smelter to get my silver into it.
Do you take Chuck Norris bucks?
Chuck bucks. They're based off of a silver standard.
Okay, well, one of the main reasons I wanted to bring up this virtual celebration is there's a slideshow on the background of this website. Are you guys there?
Ah, okay.
Okay. There's an epic picture of Chuck Norris from the 70s kicking Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney.
I didn't realize that was them. Okay, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Paul's just doing like the fake surprise Paul face, like kind of stage photo thing. It's kind of funny.
Yep.
But I had never seen that photo.
There he is, crushing it with a mustache.
And also,
is that Mike Huckabee playing bass?
Mike Huckabee with a bass.
I was just going to say one of your favorite bass players is hanging out with Mike Huckabee, Evan.
Huge influence, right? I mean,
Totally.
Much more so than Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's two epic bass players right there.
I'd like to see, a bass duet between those two. That'd be pretty nice. Think that's in the cards?
Could be.
Needless to say, Chuck Norris, he celebrated his 81st birthday, and he's making the most of it, and good for him for doing so.
Better close that tab before I get some sort of virus on my computer.
Yeah.
Too late. Damage is done.
Evan, don't you have the essentially the Sting bass? Isn't that your bass?
I do.
It's like a 51 reissue Fender Precision bass because you're obsessed with Sting and the Police.
Yeah, and I also, I didn't want to be a loser and just get the butterscotch blonde with black pick guard, so I went the sick two-tone sunburst with a white pick guard. It's pretty fly.
That's stinging, bro.
Super.
Yeah. I never was a big Police fan or anything, but as we were talking about in our last minisode, Bob brought up All for Love. And I've been jamming on that this week. I'm not going to lie.
A song is awesome.
And I've watched the music video a number of times. And I posted it up this week and said the only thing that could have made the song better is Chuck Norris. Can you imagine if he joined the three of those guys on that?
There may have been another photo of Chuck Norris high kicking a bass player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he could have been hanging out with Sting. Again, for those who don't know, this is the song that Bryan Adams sang and co-wrote with the producer Mutt Lange for the Three Musketeers movie. And it also has Rod Stewart and Sting singing in it. It's amazing. But did you guys put this together that it's for the movie The Three Musketeers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But there are three singers.
Yeah, that's the point,
that's the whole
dude.
thing.
I never thought about that.
The Three Musketeers says it's all for one, right?
Yeah, and they have like a three-part, not a three-part harmony, but like this, this three-part
Yeah, but I guess
chorus.
but I never thought about it like, oh, they literally got three singers because it's the Three Musketeers. I was like, oh, the functionality of having Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting is added vocal texture.
I mean, they all kind of sound the same.
They're all that raspy kind of.
Oh,
no,
they're
Sting-
they're sandpaper heartbreakers, man.
No, Sting is more of a sweeter voice than those guys.
I don't know. By the '90s, he was kind of feeling that
Sting-
rasp.
Sting is not raspy. Not at all.
He's dry. Sting is dry. He's a soulful, dry voice.
I don't know if he's soulful.
By the
Should
'90s,
we
yes.
listen to it?
Well, one of
Probably.
my favorite parts about the music video, okay, is the beginning. And it's like they're hanging out at a rehearsal space, and they all show up and, and like, oh, hey, what's up? And Rod Stewart shows up an hour late, and they comment on it. And then he's kind of has some banter back and forth with everyone. And he actually talks to the keyboardist for the Faces, Ian McLagan. He's the one that does the sick Wurlitzer stuff on Stay With Me. So definitely has some Rod Stewart lineage going on there. But in the music video, Rod kind of walks in and comments on Ian's hair because it's literally Rod Stewart's same haircut. And he's like, it's already kind of dated in early 90s. And Rod Stewart's like, we're going to keep this haircut in style, aren't we?
Yeah, there's more hair product in this music video than there ever should have been.
It's so good. But I love that part of it. Anyway, epic song. I've thought about maybe doing it with the Warblers because we have three singers and I think it has to happen. Bluegrass version of the song.
I think you're going to have a hard time selling that to the other guys. But hey, I don't know. You
Yeah. Well,
you did convince them to do the Walker Texas Rangers theme song. So
we do play that every show. So
at the end of every set, right? It's
Exactly.
a long-standing tradition.
it is, yeah. We also kind of have a policy like if you bring a song, we don't say no. So
That's dangerous.
this is where I'm really going to abuse that.
Yeah. They're going to change that policy.
This is where the system breaks.
So this is Bryan Adams' mega hit with a song for this movie, Three Musketeers, right? Which coincidentally stars Jack Bauer.
Yeah, I'm looking at this photo. I totally forgot who was in this movie.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen and
Kiefer Sutherland and Chris O'Donnell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Tim Curry's in it. But, okay, so that was 1993. You know when they have movies come out and they're like all trying to ape off of the success of other movies and you can tell? Like
Totally.
Three Musketeers is like totally riding on the coattails of the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which came out in 1991, of which Bryan Adams also had the hit single from. Everything I do it for you.
also a fabulous song, by the way.
Which I listened to today and watched the music video, and it's like 6 minutes long.
It does, yeah.
The song ends, and you're like, oh, what are they going to do? And it comes back.
Yeah, do on the guitar.
Yeah, it comes back for. It's like a quote unquote coda rock out
For like
power
2 minutes,
ballad.
right?
Unbelievable.
I just want you to know that 30 years later, they did that for you.
Yeah, they did.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know it's true.
So
You know it's true.
Bryan Adams, Sting, and Rod Stewart, those are the kings of the power ballad, man.
I mean,
Those are some epic power ballads.
I'd say yes for Bryan Adams, but mainly because of these two songs.
Yeah, and honestly, the other two guys, because of All for Love.
Exactly.
But like this is such a highlight in their careers, and such an epic song that it basically typecasts them as such.
Well, I was going down this rabbit hole and I'm like, Robin Hood, is he like a real person? And so I'm like looking him up. There's actually a really sick statue of Robin Hood in Nottingham, England. See that there?
Oh, yeah.
People don't know if he's real or not. It's kind of the consensus. But what blew my mind this week was we had a download in Nottingham, England for this podcast.
So it's probably Robin Hood.
It's probably one of his ancestors.
It could have been Bryan Adams from his recording studio.
Well, if you're in Nottingham and listening to this podcast,
This Pottingham.
yeah, we need some schooling on Robin Hood. Also, if you see Sting or Rod Stewart, tell them we said hey.
Yeah.
Bob, what's the next news item we got here? Evan actually brought this to my attention a few weeks ago.
Well, as much as I don't want to talk about it, although I do like how they say Walker, Texas Ranger reboot. They don't even say what the show is.
Yeah, let's face it. That's what it is.
Yeah. Apparently, Walker, the new Walker, is getting a little heat for using CGI spit in the show, which we haven't seen because we only watched the first episode. But, they're just following the protocols, man. They're just being safe. You can't spit in COVID times.
Yeah, but if spit is detrimental to the plot of your episode, right? I think you got a problem.
You mean that it's so necessary that they have to do it with CGI?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But maybe they're just not willing to compromise.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't really read the article, so I don't even know if they're being critical of the fact they CGI'd the spit. I just noticed that they're pointing this fact out.
You might not have noticed, but in the last episode, when Jared Padalecki's Walker was spitting in the spittoon, it was actually CGI spit.
Interesting. I'll have to go back and rewatch.
By the way, that was the most exciting thing that happened in the last episode.
Yeah, he actually spit.
Which, again, we haven't seen the show. It could be amazing.
No, probably not.
Hey guys, Adam again. This next segment, inspired by Gilbert of the Talented Slackers, Evan goes on a rant about the movie WALL-E, and we're just going to hit play here.
WALL-E is like a really, really depressing movie. It like takes place in the future where all the humans just live on a giant spaceship and are fat like slugs that sit in floating chairs.
They probably have a lot of time to do podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
They would, but I don't think podcasts are a thing at that point, which begs the question, will we be around? Will this medium survive?
Well, as long as our patrons stay on, then we can keep paying for our hosting.
Love it.
And it'll keep happening after we die.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to prepay for the hosting on your deathbed.
Yeah.
You're going to write a check for 100 years of hosting to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to establish a trust.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better get a lawyer.
We're going to get this drafted up.
I've got this great group that could really help you out with that. They're called Gold Co.
Oh, and, right. I think I've heard of them.
They could ensure that you have money into your golden years and dare we say your silver years too.
I don't know. Coming from you, I don't know if I'd go for it. Are there any celebrity endorsements?
I think there was one. It could have been Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen his dance moves. I'm not sure I trust that.
He's got a strange accent, so he seems uniquely un-American. So.
Yeah, I'll have to do my research.
Okay.
I've got some literature I can send you, Adam.
I did just get a text. Let's see.
Oh, boy.
From what you?
I don't know. Yeah, I gave my actual number. I said.
What's wrong with you? Why would you do that?
It's gonna be hilarious if we get something from it.
Dude, you're gonna get so much from that. They're gonna be sending you like return address labels for the rest of your life.
I already signed you up too. I've got your phone number.
No.
No, I didn't get anything from them yet.
I don't think they use texting as their preferred mode of communication.
Yeah, they texted me and said, now send me your social security number.
Just fill that in.
Well, that's trustworthy.
That seems good.
Well, I got a message on Facebook from one of our longtime friends, Mrs. Murph, Evan.
Nice. All right.
She sent us something that was going around the internet, which happens to be on the Casual Christian Comedy 2 Facebook page.
There were too many members on the first. This is the overflow group.
Yeah, or it got like overwhelmed with bots.
Exactly.
Just cancel it.
Which that's interesting in its own right, but
they're bots that were sent from above.
Right. So it's amazing to me that there are still viral photos of Chuck Norris relating to every major news event. So we had the Chuck Norris drinking coronavirus and surviving because he's impervious to any harm, right? And this week we had the container crisis at the Suez Canal, which was holding up all imports and exports for the world, essentially. Did you guys see this image going around this week?
Yes, this is a meme featuring Chuck Norris on his trusty steed, and he's got the rope to the Ever Given, which is the name of the container ship that was lodged sideways in the Suez Canal. And Chuck Norris is giving a little salute as he single-handedly rights the Ever Given and gets the world economy back on track.
I feel like the horse is doing most of the work there, though.
Naturally.
Yeah, but the horse doesn't work, but he needs to be directed.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, he's providing motivation.
Even belongs to himself, Chuck Norris has created
Like a caricature of himself.
He's essentially Superman. You're right, Evan. In the last podcast, you said he's got Batman's backstory, but Superman's powers. In this photo, definitely.
Well, look at the header of that Facebook group.
Oh, and it's...
Oh, okay. John 3:16.
Jesus is my superhero, but the S is the Superman logo.
I think what they mean to say is, Jesus is my superhero, but in a pinch, we'll take Chuck Norris.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Whatever your religious background, there's room for Chuck Norris. I don't think anyone would argue that.
Now, how many comments does that photo have?
Well, look, our mom wrote in there. What did she say, Bob?
Hold on, I gotta make the screen bigger. All you Walker fans, check out Roundhouse Roulette, a Walker Texas Ranger podcast. Join the fun and review an episode each week. Is she like a PR?
Yeah. She likes to call herself the mom manager.
Yeah.
Because Evan and I have played music together for a long time, and she joked that she's the mom manager, but she is. She's out there doing PR for us here on the Casual Christian Comedy 2 Facebook page.
I mean, that's getting more views than anything we ever do, so.
Yeah, it's true. All right. So anyway, Chuck Norris is again at the center of an online meme. You know, he solves the Suez Canal container crisis single-handedly on horseback.
Yeah.
And there you have it, guys. I hope the Walker exploration was enlightening for you. Thank you for listening and hanging out with us. We may just have another minisode dropping on Sunday with further Gold Co. exploits. I myself am recording this in the future, so I know what happened, but, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm going to wait for the next minisode. So we'll see you Sunday, and again next week, we'll be back to our normal format, digging into an awesome episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. So see you then.
When you're in Texas, look behind you. Oh, 'cause that's where the Ranger's gonna be.